Hello, I'm Paula Nicole Good. I'm your transformation life coach, and I am coming on today to talk a little bit about the new year. So, during the new year, a lot of people make a lot of new year resolutions. They make resolutions to lose weight, to be more active, to eat better, to have more fun, so many things. One of the common resolutions is making plans to do more self care. And with that self care, people are trying to focus on making themselves a priority. You'll hear a lot of women saying, I'm putting me first, I'm taking care of myself. And that's good. I mean, that's what you want to do. But often when we say things like that, we're around people who tell us, well, that's selfish. Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to put yourself ahead of your family? Why would you want to put yourself first? Your children should come first. Your husband should come first. Well, that's not true. Because the truth is, if you don't put yourself first, you can't help anybody else. So one thing I want to say about self-care is prioritizing yourself is not selfish. As a matter of fact, prioritizing yourself does not mean that you don't care about others or that you think you're better than anyone else. It means that you're making your well-being a priority, which it should be. And if you don't put yourself first, hey Sierra, if you don't put yourself first, you automatically put yourself on the back burner. So here's some things to consider when you don't put yourself first, or when you allow other people to shame you into feeling guilty about putting yourself first or tell you that you're selfish. One thing that you put on the back burner when you don't put yourself first is your physical health. You have to be healthy. How can you take care of anyone if you're not healthy? Here's a personal story of mine. I became so focused on putting my family first, doing work, taking care of everything, that I stressed myself out to where I was sick. When I say I was sick, I was laying up in the hospital bed with the doctor sitting there like, what's going on? And when all the tests came back negative, the question is, are you stressed? My answer was, yeah. Well, as I laid there, I was thinking to myself, if the doctor can't get me straight, if they can't help me, I can't get back home to take care of my kids. So I was not putting myself first. And because I wasn't putting myself first, I couldn't take care of my kids. And I put myself in a situation where I could have possibly had a worse outcome where I wouldn't have been able to make it home to take care of my kids. So yes, say yes to putting yourself first so you can say yes to your physical health. The next thing you put on the back burner when you don't put yourself first is your mental health. Mental health is important. If there's one thing we learned about last year, 2020, is if we are in situations where we don't take care of our mental health, we have horrible outcomes. Depression is on the rise. Suicide is on the rise. You have people who are getting burnout due to stress. People automatically get sick from stress because it affects their physical health. So when you don't put your mental health first, you put yourself in a situation that will ultimately affect your physical health. The other thing that happens with burnout is you're not as productive. You're not productive at home. You're not organized. It affects your work. So you're not as productive at work. Take time out and get your mental health straight. That could be something as simple as sitting down for 30 minutes and doing nothing, okay? The next thing that you put on the back burner when you don't put yourself first is your spiritual health. It's important to have a spiritual practice, whether it's religious, non-religious, or if you don't believe in either, secular. You want to make sure that your inner being is well taken care of. And with your spiritual practice, you're focusing and connecting with your most inner self. When you take the time to connect with your most inner self, you're able to deal with a lot of the deeper things within you, and you can clear it out. So when you say yes to putting yourself first and making yourself a priority, you're saying yes to connecting to yourself on your innermost level. The last thing that you put on your back burner when you don't prioritize yourself is your peace of mind. How important is your peace? Well, when you don't have peace, you don't I mean, you can't function. I mean, why would you allow your peace to come in the way of anything? Excuse me. Why would you allow somebody else's desires or needs to come in the way of your peace? And with that, I'm talking about setting boundaries. So you need to set boundaries with certain people in your life. Set boundaries when it comes to things that are taking your energy, draining your time. Your peace of mind is important. So at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you prioritize yourself. So for those of you who've made self-care a priority, do not let anyone tell you that it's selfish. Be unapologetic about making yourself a priority. You will ultimately be a better person for everyone around you, for your family, for your friends, for your job, for anything else you do. You will be better. So please, you are number one. Have a good night.